Alright, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, y'all know who this is. This is your boy Dash the True Inferno. Now, as promised last week when I was reviewing In My Mind by Pharrell Williams, I was going to review a week later the remix version, which is called Out of My Mind. So, and there's not much info on this one. There's no Wikipedia page dedicated to this one. And there's not a lot of info in regards to this album, if you can call it that. So what we know about this is this. Out of My Mind is a remix version, obviously, of In My Mind. And it features interpolated instrumentals by drummer uestLove and pianist James Poyser, both of them belonging to the hip-hop group The Roots. So basically, it's like Pharrell and The Roots basically teaming up. Now I did find some background info on this one. Not much though, but I found some. And I'm trying to think where to start with this. So let's start with this. This is an article I found on theurbandaily.cassiuslife.com. And this one was posted 8 years ago, so that's pretty interesting. So back in 2006, uestLove from The Roots got a late night or early morning, whichever one you want to call it, got a phone call from Pharrell giving him the task of remixing his entire In My Mind album in 10 days. The remix album was going to be released officially, but for some reason it never came out, which is pretty much a shame actually. Over the years, uestLove has leaked tracks from the album on his MySpace page, but on Christmas Day, he posted the entire album in high quality on Swift.fm. By the way, that site is no longer up, by the way, so if you go there, you'll find a message saying that site is no longer up. It's basically been replaced by, what's that site called? SoundCloud. So yeah, there you go with that. He also tossed in a bonus bossa nova style remix of Pharrell and Jay-Z's Frontin'. We'll get more on that later. And let's see, James Poyser and Jill Scott collaborator Adam Blackstone work on Take It Off, which is one of the songs off the album. So yeah, that's basically all the background info I can find on this particular album. Now there's a mastered version of this song, which includes, like I just mentioned, Frontin' and an outro. So yeah, there you go with that. And like I said, there's not much info on this album. All I know is this album, based on the Neptunes.org, this album came out 2007. So yes, this is that 10-minute mark right here. So which is pretty interesting. So let's get on. I mean, now the tracks for the most part remain the same, but there are some differences. So the first track is called Can I Have It Like That, featuring Gwen Stefani, as you expect. So basically, before I get into the tracks though, basically it's for the most part the same lyrics, from the original In My Mind album. And the guest stars were featured in this one as well. Like there was some additional vocals adding things of that nature, but for the most part the lyrics are the same. Now there's 20, now depending on what version you got, it's range from, I guess, I don't know, like 18 to 20 tracks. We're gonna go with 20 because if you download this joint right now, it's 20. So, and there's one skit, which is the outro. So and that's like 18 seconds. I have not heard the outro. I'm good with the outro. So yeah, so that means I give you a top 5, not a top 3. Now let's get, and then like I said, it's Pharrell lyrics and all the guest stars like Slim Thug, Snoop Dogg, Jay-Z, Kanye West, and Pusha T, and so forth, whatnot. And there's some new people in this joint as well. We get more on that later. But it's those lyrics combined with like basically beats from The Roots, basically. So that's what this is. So this is going to be dope. Now, get back to the track listing. The first track is called Can I Have It Like That, featuring Gwen Stefani, followed by How Does It Feel? Oh my gosh, more on that later. The third track is called Rappy Shit. So it's basically the same tracks, but we're going to it's different. Track number 4 is called Best Friend, featuring Tasha. Track number 5 is called You Can Do It Too, featuring Jamie. And let's go back to that Best Friend. So the original Best Friend, it did not feature a girl named Tasha, but in this version it did, so there's no vocals. And then track number 5 is called You Can Do It Too, featuring Jamie Cullen. followed by Keep It Player featuring Slim Thug. And then track number 7, Oh My Gosh Again, That Girl featuring Snoop Dogg and Charlie Wilson, followed by Angel. Now here's where things get different. Track number 9. Now in the original version, track number 9 is called Young Girl / I Really Like You featuring Jay-Z. So basically that's two songs in one track, with Jay-Z featuring Young Girl and not in I Really Like You. In this version, they separate the two songs as their own individual tracks. So track number 9 is called Young Girl featuring Jay-Z, while track number 10 is called I Really Like You Girl, which is interesting because the original version is called I Really Like You. So yeah, moving on. Track number 11 is called Take It Off, and that's it. There's no dim the lights or anything like that. It's just called Take It Off. Now, ironically enough, the next track is called Stay With Me, and in parentheses, Dim the Lights, which I think that's a typo. And that one features Pusha T, followed by Baby featuring Nelly. Then track number 14 is called Our Father, followed by number 1 featuring Kanye West. Track number 16 is called Show You How to Hustle featuring Lauren. So basically that one is that Skateboard P Presents track. Now here's where things get interesting. There's no Swagger International here. So that was a Japanese bonus track. That's not on here. Instead, we got Mamacita featuring Daddy Yankee, a brand new track that was not on the original, followed by 3 bonus tracks. Track number 18 is Frontin' featuring Jay-Z, as I mentioned. Track number 19 is called Creamsicle, which is another bonus track. And then, of course, track number 20 is Rail is a Wonder, outro. So that's the 3rd bonus track right there. Now, there's no singles since this was officially never released. There's no singles for this particular album. So, with all that out the way, I can give you guys a top, go through my best tracks off this album, starting from the bottom on up. And it's funny, but Frontin' featuring Jay-Z, the worst track off this album. And the original is much better, obviously. The original much better. I didn't like this version, but yeah, I just find that pretty odd that a track featuring Jay-Z would be the worst track. It's mostly because of the beat. I didn't like the beat that they used for that one. Next up is Mamacita featuring Daddy Yankee, followed by, Skateboard P Presents Show You How to Hustle. The original to me was better because while the drums was cool, but they were the only thing different. Like, the whole melody is basically the same. It's just the drums were different. And the original was like much harder than this one. All right, moving on up. Keep It Player featuring Slim Thug. I like the snare in that one. Then we got Stay With Me featuring Pusha T. Next up is number 1 featuring Kanye West. And then we got Baby featuring Nelly. I believe I said that was the worst track off In My Mind. This one was much better than the original, and it's cool actually. Angel is next, and that one's cool, followed by Young Girl featuring Jay-Z. Next up is Our Father, and I really like the drums in that one, followed by the another bonus track, Creamsicle, and that one to me was really cool, followed by I Really Like You Girl, really, really cool, and that's that good step music right there. Next up is Take It Off, and with this song right here, Take It Off, man, this joint right here is really emotional. It's more emotional and powerful than the original. It just makes you want to sing. The original doesn't do that to me. I ain't saying the original was garbage, otherwise I would have said that last week, but at the same time, the original does not make me want to just chill and just sing and put my feeling and my emotions and my soul into singing that song. This one does, so that's why I really like that. And then the 6th best song off this album is Rhapsody Shit. This one's dope. It's got like an early mid-90s rap feel because of that bass guitar that was used. That's really the main reason why I like that song right there. Right? Now let's get on with my top 5. 5th best track off this album, Can I Have It Like That, featuring Gwen Stefani. You can tell that uestLove was a part of that track right there with those drums. Obviously the melody for the most part was the same, but the drums really did it for me, man. The drums really did it right there. 4th best track off this album, You Can Do It Too, featuring Jamie Cullum. And this joint is smooth, and I like the ending because like it's just smooth. That track is just straight up smooth. I listen to this track to this very day. Not as much as the next 3, but I still listen to it nevertheless, because it's just so smooth. 3rd best track off this album, Best Friend featuring Tasha. That joint is smooth as heck right there. I mean, like, man, there's no words I can use to talk about how great of a track that one is, especially in comparison to the original. Second best track off this album, That Girl, featuring Snoop Dogg and Charlie Wilson. This joint is extremely smooth. It is the smoothest track off this album. In the final moments of this song, because the whole tempo change, they slow it down. I believe this is Charlie Wilson or Pharrell. They just going off at the end. I can't. It just fandoms my mind how amazing of a song that is, especially the ending though. Like, you just can't help but to just join in with the vocals, like not word for word, note for note, and tune for tune, but just like make up your own stuff. And as long as it goes with the beat and the melody, dude, it's like you can get lost in those final moments. Like, if you heard Song Cry by Jay-Z, but the MTV, what's that joint called? MTV Unleashed version, I forgot what it's called. Unleashed, Unreleased, Uncensored, I forgot what it's called. The final moments of Song Cry, where Jay-Z admit he got lost for a second. It's like that. It's like that, man. It's really like that. I recommend you listen to that track. Obviously, there's gonna be a lot of tracks I recommend you listen to, but really listen to that one from start to finish, especially the finish. That joint is just like, you'll get lost. You'll get lost while listening to that. Oh my gosh, dude. I'm just going on and on about that. And that's just the second best track off the album. That's the second best. That's not the best track off the album. So what is? How does it feel? That joint is dope as heck. I listen to that song to this very day, dog. It is so much better than the original. And the original was really cool, but this joint, man, this is one of my favorite tracks ever, dog. One of my all-time favorite tracks ever. Probably my all-time favorite Pharrell track. I would have to listen to all his other songs that either he did or that he was a part of and see. So, how does it feel? Really dope. The best track off this album, followed by That Girl, then Best Friend, then You Can Do It Too, and then Can I Have It Like That. Now, seeing this was never released, there was no official ratings for this track. So, with that out the way, what do the True Inferno feel about this album? Well, if you can see my face right now, there's a big smile on my face, because you should know what I'm going to say here. You should know what I'm going to say here. There's no way you could get this wrong. You should know exactly what I'm going to rate this album. And if you think otherwise, if you think any different from what I'm about to say, you should choke yourself. Like, I'm dead serious. You really should, because this is pretty much obvious right here. So, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, here's what I'm going to rate this album. And say it with me now. In unison, 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. This is a 5 out of freaking 5. I mean, come on, man. Now, granted, there is no physical copy of this album, and there's no like stream of this album where you can go online. Well, I mean, you can go on YouTube, listen to it, but not the whole thing. They don't have every single track on there. So what I suggest you do, not what I suggest, what I demand that you do is the following. There's a link in my description that'll take you to the spot where you can download this album. You download this album and you keep it. I don't care what excuse you come up with. You run out of memory. You don't want to download stuff. You're afraid you might get it right. I don't care. Click the link in the description. Download this album. Listen to this album and keep this album. That's your order. That is my orders to you. So, yeah, there you go. 5 out of 5. Download this album and keep it. Again, there's no physical copy. Otherwise, I would say go buy a physical copy. Otherwise, I would have bought a physical copy. But there's no physical copy of this. So, you know what? Make a physical copy. That's right. Make a physical copy. So, yeah, make a physical copy. But yeah, man, that will do it for this week of Throwback Tunes. Y'all know who this is. This is the new Jay Gatsby, aka the new Stephen A. Smith. Saying peace out, y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Yeah.